Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah from Spotlight, and today we are going to be talking to Lucrezia. How are you doing today?
Hi, good, thanks. I'm really good.
Yeah,
I'm so thrilled to be here. Thanks for having Joanne. I'm so
yeah,
excited. Hi, Juan.
yeah. We're
Good.
super
How are
excited to
you?
have it. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Yeah. No, and I'm super excited to be here as well. I want to call out first off anyone watching either live or in the replay, please hop in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, something you're excited to learn, maybe if you're a course creator or not, where you're at in that process, and how you heard about Lucrezia or how you heard about Spotlight. We love hearing all of those things. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please pop them in the comments. And if we don't answer them right away, we are not ignoring you. We have set aside a Q&A at the end of the event so we can specifically go and answer all of your questions there. And if life around you happens, you have to get up away from the computer, Lucrezia is moving fast, or anything like that, don't worry, there will be a replay available. It'll be on the YouTube page, on the Spotlight event page, and emailed to you along with the course offer, which we'll talk about a little later. And last but not least, I just want to make sure everyone is in the right place. We are talking to Lucrezia about legal essentials for launching your e-course. In this workshop, we're going to walk through all the legal essentials you need to have in place to legally protect yourself and your business during your launch and beyond. Look legit, build trust with your audience, and convert them into repeat customers. Lucrezia, I'm super excited for this because we've done a bunch of events about how to make courses and do all that side of it, but we haven't really talked about protecting your intellectual IP or any of that
Yeah.
stuff. So super excited to dive in, and I am not the expert, so I want to get the heck out of the way and hand it over to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
As I say, this is a workshop on the legal essentials for launching your course, and as you said, you covered many different aspects of that of launching your e-course. Probably the legal side is the less exciting, the less sexy, I know, but is one of the most important aspects. And now, before we start, I wanted to ask you a question, and I want to start from there because having all your legals in place can actually make you more money. It can make a massive difference between making the sale or not making the sale. So actually selling your course or not, making a few $100s a month with your business, or scaling it to 6 figures and beyond. And that's because people buy from people they trust. I'll say that again. People buy from people they trust. And so that's what I want to talk about today. And so my question is, what comes to mind when I say legal essentials? What feeling you get? What do you think about? You can put it in the chat if you like. I know there is a bit of delay with the chat, but we can maybe John can help me look at that. I can see the chat probably as well. One word will do. I'll tell you in the meantime what I usually get. Sorry, I went the wrong way with the slide. Yeah, here we are. So I usually get these three. Boring. Because people start their business because they have a passion, because they want to help people, because they want to empower people, they want to create something, or they want to teach people something. They don't want to write legal stuff, right? They don't want to spend time on the legal side of their business. That's not what they start the business for in the first place. Another one that I get all the time is overwhelming. If you're not the lawyer, or if you don't have a legal background, the legal jargon can be obscure, can be intimidating. And then another one that is quite popular, I get it all the time, is protection. Because people associate legal documents with being legally protected, which is great. But something that is often overlooked is that having all your legal essentials taken care of will make you legit, will build trust with your audience, and in turn will make you more sales. And so today we will see this. We will see what you need, what it means, and how you can leverage this in your business. Because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I see a lot of entrepreneurs make all the time, especially when they're just starting out. So the top 3 things that I see all the time are: people don't think these legal requirements apply to them. They may think, oh, I'm just starting out, I'm not making any money yet, this stuff is only for the big fish. But it's not true. Most regulations apply to you, no matter how big your business is or whether or not you are making or not making any money yet. And actually, the smaller you are, the more you want to protect yourself legally. I know this may sound a bit counterintuitive, but the reason is established businesses with high turnover can pay big fines, can afford the cost of lawsuits. But when you're only starting out, even a small fine of, I don't know, a few $1,000s can set you back, can even, lead to you having to close your business. And then another thing that I see all the time, there are those that put the legal side always on the back burner or use free templates, and then they'll say, oh, I will change that later, I will take care of this later. And I understand, I'm a course creator myself, I'm a blogger myself, I'm a business owner, and I know the creative part is more exciting. There's always so much to do in your business that you never find the time to get the legal stuff sorted. But then I see, some entrepreneurs ending up not having the right policies for their business or failing to have clear or lawful contracts when dealing with their students, clients, partners, suppliers, customers, and collaborators. And so they end up with so much more headaches and money spent down the track than if they had, taken care of this in the first place. So I know if you on the right path to avoid making this mistake. So well done, good on you. And so I have another question for you. Do you have any legals sorted? Do you have any legals at all in place in your business? And so for those of you who don't have any legals in place yet, we will see why this is a must, why you need to take care of the legal side of your business, and especially when you're launching your course, when you're selling online courses. And for those of you who already have some legals taken care of, we'll just check if you have the right ones, if they're good ones, if they're compliant, or if you need some more or some different ones. So here is where we're going. We'll see what legal essentials you need, so specifically what they are and their purpose. And then we'll go through the reason why you must have them. But we'll also see how having them in place will actually benefit you in so many ways, besides the fact that you will be legally protected. And once we establish that, I will tell you when you should sort your legals and where you can find them. So if you need help with them, where you can find some help to take care of the legal side of your business. But stay till the end for the Q&A part of this workshop. I want to leave as much time as possible for your questions. So if you have anything you'd like to ask or anything about the legal side of your business or about launching your course, I'm here for that. Now, again, I know the legal stuff is not the most fun or exciting side of your business, so I will keep this workshop short and sweet. But before we dive in, I will quickly share a little bit about my background. So for those of you who don't know me, you will learn a bit about my expertise and experience about this topic, and we get to know each other a bit better. So, all right, here I am. So let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Lucrezia. I'm originally from Italy. That's where this thick accent comes from. And I've studied and worked in different countries. Then when I was working in London, I met my now husband, Sam, who is Australian, and we moved together to Melbourne. So I'm actually in Melbourne now. He's mourning here. I worked as an international lawyer and university lecturer for over 15 years in different countries. And I'm the founder, together with my sister Marina, of Blogging for New Bloggers, Legals for Business Owners, and Tiny Law Bag, and the Facebook group Blogging for New Bloggers, which has over 36,000 members. Now, I started my business as a creative outlet because my husband and I, we wanted a baby, but it wasn't happening for us. We tried for almost 5 years. So I really, really needed something to keep my mind off our fertility journey. And so at the time, what did I do? I started a blog. So I didn't start my blog as a business venture, but my blog grew more and more every month. And now I make over $20,000 from there every single month. So fast forward 4 years, I'm now a mom. I have a daughter. Her name is Violet. She's 3. And I've used the combination of my research, legal, and business experience to help over 30,000 course creators, bloggers, podcasters, coaches, and other online entrepreneurs, just like you, to protect their business legally with my courses and done for you legal templates. Okay, now I want to let you know a bit about my expertise, but at the same time, please keep in mind that although I'm a lawyer by profession, I'm not your lawyer. And so this workshop does not constitute legal advice, but the information that I will share here today are for educational purposes only. And so please take a moment to read my legal disclaimer, please. Okay, so we're all on the same page. I'll just give it up for a few seconds. All right, let's dive in. All right, so like I said, the first thing we'll see today is what legal essentials you need to have in place when launching your course. So I made this list of legal essentials. These are the must-haves that made the cut. I'll read it briefly. LLC, trademarks and copyrights, contracts and agreements, terms and conditions, privacy policy, Gdpr compliance, accessibility and ADA compliance, disclaimers, disclosures, and endorsements. Now, I know it's a lot, but please don't get too overwhelmed. You may have some of this already. You might not need some of this. We'll just use this as a checklist to have an idea of what is required or where we stand and what we need, okay? So we'll see one by one what they are and if you need them. Okay, so for example, the first thing that is on the list is forming an LLC. LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. This is for the US, okay? So in other countries can be called differently. So for example, in the UK and here in Australia, where I'm currently based, as you know, it's called Proprietary Limited Company. So each country can have a different system, but the concept is the same. And now, if you've been in business for a while, you may have already done this, but if it's the first time for you, or you're just starting out, or you're now making the transition from a hobby to a business and you're serious about selling your courses, then you should consider forming an LLC. Now, this is not mandatory. You can still sell your courses as a sole proprietorship, but forming an LLC comes with a few advantages. For example, you will have a layer of protection as you will separate your personal assets from your business assets, so that if something goes wrong in your business, they can't touch your personal assets. They can't touch your house. They can't touch your car, okay? It will also give you additional credibility. You will be taken more seriously. Plus, you can save money in taxes and things like that. So, there are some other types of companies that might suit you better. So it's something that you should be discussing with a lawyer or an accountant. But I just wanted to mention it because if you were not aware of this, it's really important that you look into this and see what's best for you and your business. All right. So now that I mentioned this and it's out of the way, we can go down the nitty-gritty of launching your course. All right. So first of all, you need to make sure that you don't infringe other people's trademark or copyrights. So before picking a name for your new course and getting all excited about it, you need to run a thorough search to check that the name is not already taken. You can search domains in Google. I would also check social media accounts, and then I would run a search on the Trademark Electronic Search System of the USPTO, which is the Patent and Trademark Office in the US, or if you're in another country, run the search on the Patent and Trademark database of your country. Any business with the same or even a similar name to your course or to your business can pose a legal risk to your own. So this is an important step to take, and infringement can happen in different ways. So, of course, if you name your course exactly like another course of the same type, you can see how you could be sued by someone for trademark infringement. But it doesn't even have to be another course. If you use someone else's trademark in a way that is likely to cause confusion in people as to the source, affiliation, or sponsorship between you and the trademark owner, that can be trademark infringement. So what I mean is, if you use someone else's name, trademark, for your course, and then people think that your product, your course is related or owned or endorsed by the trademark owner, then the trademark owner could sue you for trademark infringement. So stay clear from any name that is already taken and used by any other business for if they use it for a course, or if they use it for their business, their podcast, their blog, whatever it is, just don't use it. Now, you also need to be careful not to infringe on other people's copyrighted works. For example, if you use images for the mock-ups of your course, it's important to get permission to use any copyrighted materials. Otherwise, you could run into copyright infringement. And yes, there are fair use laws that would allow you to use copyrighted material for certain purposes. For example, for criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and education. But these laws, they vary in different countries, can be complex, and may cause arguments between you and other creators. So it's always best to get the proper license, and same goes to royalty-free and public domain stuff. Okay. Now that we have discussed so far is for you not to infringe on other people's trademark or copyright, but you can also protect your own by registering your trademarks and copyright, so that you make sure that other people don't infringe your own trademarks or copyright. And as a bare minimum, what I recommend having is, even if it's not legally required, because, copyrights are inherent. I'll tell you in a second what I mean. But, what I'm suggesting is that you have a copyright notice, okay, in which you will claim ownership of your course, of your content, and make it clear that no one can steal it from you or can use it in ways they're not allowed to, okay? And I was saying that this is not really required because copyright is inherent. Copyright is, so the moment that you create something, you automatically own the copyright to your original course, to your original content, the moment you create it. You don't need to register your work, put a trademark, register it for your work to be yours. But if you have a copyright notice, you will remind everyone that they can't copy, use, or reproduce your work without your express consent. A copyright notice will lend you more legitimacy to your ownership. It will act as a deterrent for those who may want to steal it, and it may guarantee you more copyright protection for your work as well. So what I suggest you do is place a copyright notice on your course information of your rights and how others are allowed or not allowed to use your course. Now, for countries like the US that are allowed to register your copyright, you may consider doing that because it will give you more protection and the right to sue if someone infringes your copyright. Now, speaking of copyright, you also need to make sure that if you engage the services of someone else to help you create your course, that you retain full ownership of the intellectual property of your product, of your course, of your content. So, for example, if you hire a graphic designer to make the graphics and layout of a PDFs that comes with your course, like let's say some workbooks that comes with your course, okay? Make sure that you have a written agreement about who owns the copyright to those PDFs, to those workbooks, okay? And so this brings us to the next item on our list, which is you should always use clear, lawful contracts when dealing with other people. Because with a written legal agreement in place, the chances of a lawsuit happening are very minimal. And even if, in the event of a legal dispute, your business's interests will be protected under the legal agreement. There are several scenarios where you should use legal documents. For example, when you hire an independent contractor or freelancer to help you out with creating your course, like for example, as we said, if we hire a graphic designer or a VA to help you out, or a copywriter for your sales page. If you use testimonials and so many more. And I know you will be tempted to skip it, but setting things up the right way now will save you lots of time, money, and headache down the track. So please make sure you have written agreements for everything. So to give you another example, if you have testimonials, if you had beta testers for your course and they're leaving you testimonials to use in your launch or your sales page, make sure you get them to sign a testimonial release and consent form prior to using their testimonial. Because getting your students or clients to sign a release form will provide more certainty over the legal relationship, rights and responsibilities involved. So you will basically obtain their approval to use and disclose their name, likeness, voice, appearance, if it's a video testimonial, bio, or other personal information in connection with the testimonial. And for the testimonial to be used and distributed in your promotional activities. So definitely have contracts and agreements in writing whenever you deal with other people in your business. And most importantly, when you actually sell your course to your customers, to your students, to your clients. Now, don't get worried. I'm not saying it's not that every time that you sell a copy of your course, you need to get them to sign a contract. But what you must do is to get them to agree to your terms and conditions. Terms and condition is a sort of an agreement between you and the people who purchase your course. So this is the most important thing to have sorted, ready to go when launching and selling a course. Basically, terms and conditions state what people should expect when purchasing a course from you. Like, for example, your refund policy, or how they can use or access your course, or for how long. Is it a lifetime access? So basically, you state all the rules that apply to your product. Good terms and conditions will also cover things like applicable law and what happens in case of a dispute. Basically, all those clauses that will protect you legally. Now, another thing that we need is a privacy policy. Privacy policy is a detailed statement that lets your students and clients know the type of information you gather about them, and where you explain how you gather, store, handle, process, and release the information you collect, and also disclose whether you will keep it confidential or share it with third parties. Privacy policy is really a must-have for any type of business. You can't really go without one. And I know you might be wondering, I'm selling a course, so what does this to do with privacy policy? But actually, when you sell your course, you are collecting and processing lots of personal information, such as the name of your students, their email address to deliver, your course, and so much more information like you can't even see, like if you have the Facebook pixel installed, if you have cookies on your website, and their IP address. So you are definitely processing their personal data. And so privacy regulations apply to you. And in most countries, it's a legal requirement to have a privacy policy. Here are the most important laws and regulations calling for a privacy policy. The Gdpr, which is the General Data Protection Regulation of the European Union, which apply to you if you're based in the European Union, or if you target people based in the European Union, or monitor their behaviors. The CCPA, I'm not going to read all of them because I think we're running out of time. I want to leave a lot of time for questions. So, but they all like regulations that apply all around the world. So the list goes on and on. So many other countries have their own privacy regulation. India, South Africa, Senegal, even the one that I haven't listed here. So it's really a must-have. Now, on this, just a quick note that if you're based on the European Union or you target clients or students in the European Union or monitor their behavior, then the GDPR will apply to you and you need to meet several legal requirements to comply with it. Now, because I'm running out of time now, we can't really get into the GDPR compliance as, we're limited in time for this workshop, but I will touch on a few points that are really important so that you have some actionable tips that you can implement towards your compliance straight away after this workshop, okay? You will have to have your privacy policy easily accessible wherever you process their personal information, for example, on your checkout page. So I have a checkbox for them to approve, yes, your terms and conditions, as we said earlier, but also your privacy policy. And also, speaking of checkboxes, I know this will sound strange to many of you because it's not in the US, especially, it's not like that. But under the GDPR, you're not allowed to add your students to your email list automatically once they purchase from you. You can send them transactional emails, like, for example, send them the invoice or the receipt of the purchase, or instructional emails with content and materials related to your course, but you can't send them your general newsletters or your marketing emails unless they express their consent to receiving it. So if you're planning to send your customer or students marketing emails after purchase for upsells or other offers or discounts, have another checkbox where they can tick their consent to receiving this type of emails and special offers, or to join your email list, okay? Another requirements under the GDPR is to have a cookie notice pop-up and cookie policy. I think the cookie notice pop-up you see, when you go on website and that thing shows up saying, we're running cookies, accept or reject. And with cookie policy, I mean like a detailed statement that lets your users and students know the type of cookies you run on your website and how you store and handle them. Now, you can have a cookie policy as part of your privacy policy or as a separate page. Both options are fine. I also want you to be mindful of ADA compliance. Now, if you don't know what that is, ADA stands for Americans with Disability Act. And so I'm talking about accessibility, making sure your website, your content, your products, your courses are accessible for everyone. regardless of their abilities. And this is not for the US only. These standards apply to different regulations around the world. Now, again, unfortunately, we can't really go into much detail about either compliance, as this is outside of the scope of this workshop, but I just want you to be mindful of how accessible to people with disabilities your content is, and make it as accessible as possible, to be inclusive as possible. This will also help you with having a bigger audience. It will help you with SEO and other benefits, and you can get, lawsuits and fines if you don't comply with this regulation. So think of things like, again, I want to give you some takeaways, some things that you can do straight away, some actionable tips. Okay, things like using fonts that are easy to read in a big size, a good color contrast, using alt text for the images you use, so that visually impaired people or those who use assistive technology can, even if they can't see the picture, know what's there, or have captions in videos if you have some in your courses or on your sales page, and so on. Okay. All right, next, you will also want to make sure you have disclaimers in place. A disclaimer is a statement that allows you to deny or disclaim any liability for the information and advice that you provide. Depending on the business you operate, you may need different types of disclaimers. So for example, let's say your course is related to health and well-being. You will want to have a disclaimer stating that the information you provide is not medical advice and shouldn't substitute seeing a clinician. Like similar to the disclaimers I had at the beginning of this workshop, that this is not legal advice. Now, some disclaimers are for your own protection, to shield yourself from any liabilities and claims, while some others are required by law or the Fair Trade Commission guidelines, such, for example, earning disclaimers or testimonial disclaimers. And their purpose is more to protect your prospective students. So, for example, if you have testimonials, I was saying earlier, on your sales page, you need to make it clear that the results may vary and that those testimonials may not be representative of the experience of others using your products or taking your courses. So you will want to have a testimonial disclaimer on your website stating all of this. Now, the last thing that I want to go through is disclosures and endorsement. It may happen sometimes that within your course, you may recommend another product or another service, and that's totally fine. But if you have a financial relationship with the brand or the merchant you mentioned or endorse, then you will have to disclose this relationship. So, for example, if you're using an affiliate link, and if they click and buy through that link and you get an affiliate commission, you must disclose that. If you're based in the US, this is a legal requirement as per the Fair Trade Commission's guidelines. And if you don't comply, you can get fined. But even if you're not based in the US, if you target an international audience, I would still have all the required disclosures to be transparent with your students and to build trust and to meet the same legal standards. I say, people don't necessarily know what laws and regulations apply or don't apply to you, so they might think you're not compliant. So always disclose. And in the same vein, also say the opposite. So for example, let's say you're running ads for your course, okay? On your sale page, make it clear that there is no relationship between you and Facebook, that your product is not endorsed by Facebook in any way. You could have statement for this in the footer of your sales page. Also, if you mention brands, other companies' names, have a statement that says that those are their own trademarks. All right? Wow, so much stuff. Are you overwhelmed? Have I lost you halfway through? So sorry, I know this is a lot to take in, but it's really important It really is. I will tell you a few reasons why you must have all these legals in order, okay? No matter what kind of business you have, there are three main reasons you need to stay on top of the legal stuff. The first one is because you want your business to be seen as serious, professional, and credible. The second one is because you want to meet all the legal requirements and avoid fines, formal complaints, and lawsuits. And the third one is because you want to avoid having to sue others. All right, let's take a closer look at each of these reasons, okay? All right, number one, complying with legal requirements will make you look more professional, more credible. And even if you're at the stage where you're only starting your business now, you will look like less like a newbie. It will show that you actually mean business, that you're serious about this. You will look more credible, and it will be easier for you to build trust with your audience and convert them into repeat customers. Besides, some legal requirements are becoming the general standard everywhere. And so if everyone else is complying with these legal requirements and you're not, people will notice and you will look dodgy. The second main reason is that you don't want to be sued or fined. Legal requirements are the law. And so it's not only ethical to comply, it's not only the right thing to do, but also if you're not in compliance, you are breaking the law, which means you can expose yourself to the risk of fines, lawsuits, and formal complaints to supervising authorities or the like. And then you also don't want to have to sue others. You know, it's much better to learn and protect your business right now from potential legal problems and set your legal protection the right way from the start than having to solve legal disputes once they happen. Because no matter if you're on the right side of the lawsuits are always time consuming, stressful, costly, and they also distract you from your primary goals. They basically a waste of time. And as an entrepreneur, time is your best asset. Time you should rather spend creating your courses, promoting them, and growing your business. But not only you should protect your business legally, you actually want to do so, because protecting your business legally comes with so many benefits. It's actually a great opportunity for your business. So there are several benefits in getting your legals in order. As we said, you will look legit and trustworthy, and you will be seen as established, professional, and credible. You will build trust with your audience and convert them into repeat customers, because they will see you as respectful of their rights, because they will see that you're transparent, you disclose to them your financial relationship with other, making money through affiliate links and things like that. You will also be taken seriously by clients and potential affiliates, partnerships, and joint ventures. Many times, my students apply to affiliate programs and they're not accepted because they don't have the right disclosures in place, or they apply for ad networks and they're not accepted because there are no privacy policy in place, or things like that. But once they saw that and they try again, they get accepted. Another thing that is really important is that once you have all these legal pages on your website, you will rank well on Google, Bing, and other search engines, which is really important to drive traffic to your sales pages. But you will also, not only sales pages, anything that whenever you promote your course. So let's say you write a blog post, and then at the end, you want to bring people to your ecosystem, and you have like a content upgrade or a sign up forms. You want to drive as much traffic as possible to that page on your website, because the more people that will see that page, the more will sign up for your email list, and then they will you can retarget them with your courses and sell them your products. So it's really important that you rank well on Google for that. But also, you will be able to set boundaries and clear expectation with your students or your freelancer or anyone that you work with and so on. So what will happen is that you will get peace of mind of being legally protected. You will look legit and professional, and it will save you money and will open more opportunities to make more money. Now, just a couple of words on where and when to get your legals in order. Okay, the best time to get on top of your legal stuff was yesterday. No, seriously, it's better to have all this stuff set up even before you launch your course. But if you haven't done it yet, then the second best time is now. And where to get them. Okay, first of all, stay clear from free legal stuff and free generators and things like that. They're not complete. They're too generic. They're definitely not comprehensive. They don't meet all the legal requirements. You won't even know who has drafted these free templates in the first place, so don't rely on those. Another thing you should never do is copying legal pages and documents from other people or websites. Don't do that. Don't. As you know now, that's copyright infringement. Yes, it applies to legal stuff too. So you can't just copy other people's stuff. Plus, you don't know what legislation applies to them specifically and whether it's the same that applies to you too. So it's very risky to rely on those. So don't ever copy anyone else's legal stuff. So the best option would be to hire a lawyer, because this lawyer will know your specific circumstances, can customize everything for you. You can meet up and discuss your needs. But I understand this may be a bit prohibitive for many people, as legal fees can add up to thousands pretty quickly. So a popular option is to get templates drafted by lawyers. These options make sense for many reasons, including, it's drafted by a lawyer. It will tell you what clauses you need to have or not to have, depending on your specific circumstances, so you can tailor the templates to your specific needs. And you can ask the lawyer for support and clarification. Plus, the financial investment is way less than consulting with a lawyer. And then, of course, it will save you so much time, because legal templates can, it's just easy. It's a plug and play. You just fill out with your business information and it's done, instead of spending so much time Googling everything, try to to understand everything by yourself. Of course, like if you have a legal background, you can do it by yourself. But if you don't have any expertise in this field, it's better, to rely on the expert. Now, all this reason are probably why my Legal Bundle Value Pack is my bestseller. Thousands of course creators, bloggers, and other online entrepreneurs have already taken advantage of this bundle. This bundle is a collection of classes, trainings, workbooks, step-by-step instructions, and plug-and-play templates that will show you exactly how to protect your business legally and create all your legal pages and policies in a matter of minutes. So inside of the Legal Bundle Value Pack, you'll find everything you need to take care of the legal side of your business and protect you legally. But the beauty of it is that all the hard work is done for you. So you can go through the courses at your own pace, or jump straight into the plug and play templates, fill them out with your business information or your course information, and be done in a matter of minutes. All right, so thank you so much. Now, if you have any questions, please go ahead. Janet, do we have any?
Yeah.
It's coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucrezia, thank you so much. It is, I know it can seem overwhelming at
Yeah.
first to handle all of these things. Uh, but as someone who's like started multiple businesses with people and without people, it is such a worthwhile muscle to flex and get familiar with. And I know after the first time of just like getting through even starting an LLC, it's like, oh, that wasn't a big deal. I just
Yeah.
had to do it, right? Also, and this is no slight, but government websites aren't the most clear or helpful. So I'm grateful for people like you making it a lot easier to understand what's next. But for everyone watching and watching the replay, I did want to call out the links for Lucrezia's course are in the description. They're also in the comments there. And there's a healthy discount, but it's only there for a week. So take advantage of it. And I did want to ask you a couple questions about the course itself. Is it lifetime access? Because I know for people buying this, they might be like, yes, I want to get into the legal part. This is a great discount, but I'm not going to do it tomorrow. So
Yeah.
what's the experience like as far as when they can type into this info and all of that?
So the good thing is it's lifetime access. And so even if you don't need it now, like let's say, you're not ready to launch yet, it's better to secure the price now because anyway, you will have lifetime access to it.
Right.
And so, when I teach to new bloggers, they usually buy straight away, even if they don't even have a blog yet, so that they can secure that price because usually I raise price every quarter. So,
Right.
the best time to buy is always now. But also the good thing about it is lifetime access, but also lifetime access to any updates. So basically, if there is a new regulation, if this is a big change in legislation's requirements, I go update the course and you get it for free. You don't have to pay, extra to have the up-to-date version. You have lifetime access to this version and future versions. So once you buy, it's there for you forever. The other great thing is that if you, as you said, Jonah, you have like several businesses and I have the same, like have different, you can buy the templates or the course in like the legal bundle. It comes with courses and templates, and use those templates for your legal pages for all the business that you own or co-own. So you buy once and then you can use it for, like, you have 2 websites, you can use it on 2 websites. You have 10 websites. The only thing is that they need to be yours, so they can't be for your clients, But if you own those websites, either by yourself or with someone else, you're one of the owners, you can use it on as many as you like. So you really like when you see it that way, it's really like a bargain because it's only up today for like for a week. It's only under 47. I can't even believe it.
I know.
Especially because when I work as a lawyer, it's like I charge $600 plus GST per hour.
That's another thing I just wanted to call out and appreciate, because I think a lot of lawyers are making enough money that they don't care about making a course. But I'm grateful you're out here doing this, because I also learned the hard way where I've had various experiences where I didn't have my legalities together and everything like that. And
you're
it's
not the only one. I hear
know
stories all the time.
Trust me, I know. I got friends who are lawyers and they're well employed because it happens all the time. But another thing I want to ask, so a lot of what's in this course, is it just geared towards the US or it's from all over?
No, it's for everywhere.
That's
everywhere.
so helpful.
Well, is ideal. It probably is for everywhere because the legal standards are quite similar to everywhere. But it is ideal for people from the US, Canada, UK, European Union, Australia, New Zealand, and so many more. This is because so the legal templates will tell you if you're from the US, use this clause. If you're from the Canada, use this. So you can tailor. It's not tailor. You don't need to do anything. You just delete the part that you don't need. It's just delete. But it's in different colors, so they will tell you, the red one, for example, are for the people from the European Union. Not from the European Union, just delete the red one and you're ready to go, So it's not only for the US. I know I usually reference to the US only because most of my audience from the US, I assume most of Teachable, It's a large country. Like, it's what, over 100,000 million people in there. Like, how many? What's the population for the US at the moment?
Right. You're putting me on the spot. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, like, look, in Australia, I'm both Italian and Australian. Australia is massive, is huge, but only has 20 million people living here. Italy is just a little thing, as 60 million. So,
right.
like the yeah. So, yeah.
I definitely didn't look this up just now and just happened to remember that it's 329.5 million people.
Yeah, so so massive.
Yeah.
So, like, the in terms of probability, the people that will watch this replay, they're probably more likely from the US.
Right. Well, and
not to any other country. I'm not even from the US, so it was just one. Yeah, as a reference. Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate especially too that you talk about how, and I heard a lot of what you're saying. Like, a lot of the legal compliance also just makes your course better for everybody. So, like, choosing a good font and making sure it's legible is a good idea, regardless if you're trying to be legally compliant.
Exactly. Usually the legal requirements will help with your marketing too, with helping people. Like, you will have more traffic. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, for example, captions. This is a legal requirement under ADA compliance, okay? But when I was breastfeeding my daughter, all right, I was still watching courses online and learning breastfeeding in the dark because she had to go to sleep. But with the subtitles, I could still work, and read what they were saying. The legal requirements are there to protect some people, but then actually the bright side of it is that it will help you with everything else as well. SEO and
right. You'll just have a better course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lucrezia, we don't have any more questions at the moment, but if people want to reach out to you, if they have any questions before buying the course or just want to follow you, where's the best place to see more of what you do and answer any questions they might have?
I have a Facebook group.
Yep.
It's called Blogging for New Bloggers. Even though the name is Blogging for New Bloggers, I have people from like different walks of life. So they are online entrepreneurs. We have course creators, we have coaches, we have so I don't know if you have the link for that, so I can
I just dropped it in the comments there, so it's there for everybody.
It's probably like that's a good place where to start is and I'm there, so if you post a question there, I can always answer.
That's excellent. And then last kind of question, and this is a little more towards like just the headspace of getting into this, but like, if it's tempting for someone to just want to hire a lawyer, but I come from a background of wanting to know at least a little bit about anyone I'm going to hire. I want to know a little bit about what their job means so that I don't get taken for a ride, or I know it's a good person. So in your experience, do you have people also just take this course and then still go work with lawyers and stuff like that? This isn't replacing having a lawyer if you need it, right?
You can have a lawyer for, like, for example, things like LLC, forming an LLC. You could go to a lawyer. For things like trademarks, maybe you can go to a lawyer. The problem that I see in my experience that many people told me is that when they go to a lawyer for things like, terms and conditions for a course or, they say they don't understand what I'm talking about. Like the traditional lawyers don't understand about, Facebook pixel, cookies, or like everything that we do, online marketing, testimonials. They will start like, what is a self-pay? Like, because they this is only emerging now. So for example, like the things that most of my students say is like, oh, I'm so lucky to have met you because you have that. You combine the three things. You're a blogger, you're an online entrepreneur, you have your business online, but also you have a legal background and you're also a teacher. So when you explain things, you make it a bit like easier for us to digest than a formal lawyer, all right? That have like that kind of, like speaking Latin basically, legalese and all that stuff. But also, yeah, the main barrier is that they don't usually understand online marketing, email marketing, and so they can't really customize the legal pages and legal policy in terms, like specifically for course creators, online entrepreneurs. So if you can find someone that is as a kind of expertise in that field, that's great. So yeah, no, it doesn't mean that one excluded. Like they're not. You can do both, and actually, for some things, I think that it would still be good to consult a lawyer. For like, if you want to form an LLC, you can do it by yourself. Like you can do it on your own. But I'm always like, if you do it on your own, you're taking time out of your business. If you outsource, like you can work on your business and growing, like it saves you time. So if you have the budget, by all means, go and see a lawyer.
Yeah. But I like,
but
you made such a good point though. It's like, so a lot of lawyers would have passed the bar before online marketing was even at the place where it is. So you really have to find someone who's specialized in that.
Those that study now, if they don't have like a first-hand experience with that, it's not that you studied in law school. You don't study email marketing in law school.
You don't even cover it.
They don't even know what an affiliate link is. Like they were like, I have so many friends that are lawyers. When they say like, for example, when I start my blog, say, how do you make money through a blog? What do you do? You're an influencer. No, I'm not an influencer. I'm I'm like a blogger, and so they don't understand affiliate links. And, I think they grasp the idea of influencer on Instagram, those, but I don't have the look for that. So
Well, and to be fair, there's lots of influencers with huge followings who still don't know how to make money.
Oh, no, if it's like
it takes a lot. But Lucrezia, we gotta wrap up just for time. But thank you so much for your expertise and for sharing with us. Yeah. And for everyone watching, take advantage of the offer on that course. Like she said, it's a fraction of the cost it would be to even hire a lawyer for an hour. And if you know all of that information, it's going to make you so much more informed when you go and talk to a lawyer, and you're going to save your time and their time. I recommend it so much because I've been through those troubles of just thinking, oh, the internet's free. I can do whatever I want, name anything, whatever I want.
Use an image that I find on Google.
Yeah, exactly. It bites you in the butt. So, yeah. But thank you so much. And for everyone watching, if you had a good time, please like and subscribe to the Spotlight channel, where we're consistently trying to bring folks out here who are teaching us about legal matters, art, course creation, all of these things that we're all trying to do and get better at. Lucrezia, it's been a total blast. Thank you for being with us today. Hope to see you again. And everyone watching, have a wonderful day.